Sawadika.
Lots of
Hi,
friends in
Sarah.
Dhamma. Hi, Tan.
Yes.
Glad to see you have lots of friends.
Yes.
Dạ, rất là
Today
vui là
is
hôm nay gặp được rất nhiều mọi người ở một nhà.
Achan is here. Achan, are you there? Dạ vâng. Bây giờ thì con sẽ giới thiệu bằng tiếng Việt trước. Với các đạo hữu đã theo dõi pháp đàm từ 2 ngày nay thì chắc là các đạo hữu cũng đã gặp bé Ngọc. Bé Ngọc thì lần đầu tiên đến với pháp đàm và bé Ngọc đến với một cái mong muốn đặc biệt là bởi vì bé Ngọc đã trải qua một số biến cố trong đời sống. Đặc biệt là bé đã mất mẹ khi còn nhỏ và gần đây nhất thì bé đã mất cả người cha của mình, năm nay bé 20 tuổi. Và vì vậy cho nên là trong lòng bé có rất là nhiều cái sự đau đớn. Và bé cũng muốn tìm đến với pháp đàm để có thể giúp được vượt qua được cái nỗi đau này. Thì trong mấy ngày vừa qua thì chúng ta cũng đã nói với bé về sự thật, nên là bé cũng có một phần tiếp nhận được, nhưng một phần bé cũng đang thắc mắc là muốn nghe thêm là thế nào là sự thật, và sự thật đó thì biết về sự thật đó thì để làm gì, điều ấy có ích lợi như thế nào, và con đường đó cuối cùng sẽ đưa đến đâu. Bây giờ con sẽ nói bằng tiếng Anh để cho Achan và ông bà John Sarah được nghe. Dear Achan, John and Sarah, today we have the participation of a friend, Miss Ngọc. Thẩm nghiệm. Yes, here she is. The young lady, only 20 years old, and she joins the discussions in the hope of looking for something useful to overcome the difficulties that she is facing today. She lost her mother when she was very young, and very recently she also lost her father, and that caused very great sorrow in her. And it's something that she has not yet been able to overcome. And since the last few days, we have discussed about the different realities and about the truth. And she gets some ideas about it, but she still would like to hear more. What is the truth? The truth about what? And what is the purpose of learning the truth? And how learning the truth is useful for her life? And what is the destination of learning about the truth? Okay.
I'll start off with a few comments. So glad to meet you, Miss Ngok, and glad that you can join the discussions. It takes courage to study the Dhamma and learn about the truth, especially when one has had many tragedies in life, to face up to what is the real problem in life. And the truth at this moment is not easy at all. So I appreciate your interest. And the first thing we learn when we study the Dhamma is that life is just at this very moment. What has gone before is all gone. What hasn't come, hasn't come. So the truth which you would like to learn more about has to be at this moment. For example, now, when we feel very sad, for example, the truth is the thinking with sadness at this moment. When we're happy and forget about the difficulties in life, when we're just enjoying the food or enjoying the sunrise, the thinking with joy and happiness is just at this moment. If there is a little understanding, it's also at this moment. So life is always one moment at a time. And we think of the great tragedy when a parent passes away or some other great difficulty happens, like last week, I'm sure you heard about the shooting in Bondi in Sydney, and everyone is very disturbed by it. But in fact, what we learn is there is death at each moment. What arises now, the seeing now, the hearing, the thinking, happy feeling, unhappy feeling, just lasts for a moment and is gone instantly. So there can gradually be a little more understanding about life at this moment, death at this moment. And we know life is so short because the end of this life can come any time. But actually, it's so short because there is death at each moment. So the purpose of understanding is to learn more about what life is, the truth now, to understand that all the problems in life, all the difficulties, all the suffering are just at this very moment, and it's gone instantly. But usually there's clinging on to what has just occurred, the seeing, what was seen, the hearing, the thoughts, and so on. But it's all gone. So it takes patience and courage and strength to begin to understand what the Buddha taught about life now. Just different dharmas arising and falling away. In truth, no Sarah, no Tambak, no Miss Ngok, just different dharmas arising and falling. Nothing lasts at all. And the Buddha taught that in truth, life is dukkha. Whatever arises and falls away is unsatisfactory because it doesn't last. Nothing lasts in life at all. The seeing now doesn't last. The hearing now doesn't last. The pleasant feeling doesn't last. Nothing lasts. Nothing can be a refuge in life because it's all gone instantly. So this is the truth of life, that it's not satisfactory as we dream about. It's unsatisfactory at each moment. But when understanding develops, there is a little more equanimity, a little more detachment, a little more acceptance of life as it is. And this brings joy, letting go of the strong clinging to oneself, to one's friends, to one's family, which brings such grief again and again. So I encourage you to keep considering and developing understanding of life at this moment. Let something very good come out of the tragedies you've experienced. And what is the very good, very best thing is understanding of the truth now.
I'll just add a couple of words briefly before Ajahn speaks. Regarding understanding this life as it is, which is what Sarah has been talking about. There is understanding at different levels. There is understanding at the level of understanding the nature of a conditioned reality, which you may have heard something about, but also at a slightly easier level to appreciate. One of the things that the Buddha taught about this life is its unsatisfactoriness, which Sarah just mentioned in her talk. The Pali term is dukkha. And in explaining this, the Buddha pointed out that it is impossible to avoid association with the disliked, and it's impossible for anyone in this existence to avoid separation from the light. So these two aspects we can readily appreciate. We have to put up with sights and sounds and people and things that we don't like. At the same time, we are not able to ensure that we can always experience people and things that we do like. And as death is an inevitable part of life, not just for us, but for others, separation from the light means losing loved ones. And the longer we live, the more there will be the experiencing of separation from the light. So we may just reflect on this a little bit to appreciate that we assume a lot of things in life. We assume we're going to have good health. We assume the people that are dear to us will be around for a long time. But really, there's no basis for making those kinds of assumptions, because experience tells us that everything can be lost at any time. Wealth, family, loved ones, possessions, reputation, it can all go in the blink of an eye. And if we just reflect on this a bit, then we appreciate that we can be thankful for what we do have, but we should not expect anything more. Thank you. And I'm sure Ajahn would like to add some words now.
Can anyone stop death? Is it true? Each one has to die. Who will not die? So you think of the other's death, my father, my mother, my friend. What about your own death? Exactly the same. So are you crying for your own death too? Or crying when your parent died? But what about your own death? See? Will you cry? What is death? The end of this person. No more this person. At moment of birth, is there anyone or any person? But from birth, there is someone. At moment of seeing, hearing, or experiencing. At this very moment, the same moment of birth, a moment of experiencing an object, different object. That's why what is taken for birth is just a moment of the reality arises and experience the object. Different moment, no matter it's birth or death or seeing or hearing or smelling. Just learn to understand the ultimate truth. In truth, there cannot be anything belong to anyone at all. It's the way it is that which is conditioned to arise, to see, to hear, to think. As soon as whatever arises, it falls away instantly. Learn to understand the truth and understand the moment of birth, the moment of birth, the moment of death, the moment of seeing, hearing, and even this moment. There must be the reality which arises to experience the object. No matter we call it my parent, my mother, my father, my friend, or I. But in truth, before birth, what is I? Where is I? Not at all. But when birth is there, what is birth? It's the reality which arises and experiences an object. The first moment of life, we take it for life, begin at birth. And it's there at birth, no one at all. Just the reality arises by conditions to be born at that very moment, just one moment in life. Every moment is only one moment, never be the same at all after it has fallen away. Just one moment at a time, no matter we call it birth or seeing or hearing or feeling or remembering, all are dhammas. And which one dies and what is birth? Learn to understand the truth that is hidden from life to life, years and years ago. But is that right now the beginning to understand the truth of what is there as life? Because we take life for something permanent, to be born, to be this and that, different ones, different moments, at different months and day and so on. But in truth, it's just the reality. No one can stop its arising. It's conditioned to arise. And see now, and hear now, and think now, and remembering now, thinking of my father, thinking of my mother. It's just thinking, isn't it? That's why I learn to understand the ultimate truth, the hidden truth, so subtle, so very deep. Only the one who had enlightened the truth, the ultimate truth, realized the truth, so he be kind and compassionate to everyone who cannot understand the truth. Like us now, see, without hearing the teachings, can there be any understanding of the truth? From the very beginning, from the moment of birth on and on to up to death. See, just one moment at a time. Where am I? Who's born? Where's that person? Just a moment of birth, experience the object of this world. But at the moment of birth, it does not experience what is there in this world yet, because it has no reason to be known. So there can be the considering of the truth deeper and deeper. If nothing arises at all, can there be birth? Can there be seeing, hearing, thinking, liking, disliking, pleasant or unpleasant moment at all? Not at all. How come these realities, these different realities, sometimes pleasant feeling and sometimes unpleasant feeling, not at will? Everything is conditioned to arise. So amazing how it come, but no thought about it. So it keeps on. It's conditioned to arise and falls away from moment to moment, on and on and on, from birth to death. So thinking about the other's death is exactly the same as one's own death. So will you cry for your own death or for the other's death? And what is there at that very moment? Before crying, what is there? See, hearing. something, thinking about it with unpleasant feeling. See, each moment is condition, unknown condition, until hearing the word of truth of each moment, of each reality, and begin to understand what is life, what is taken for life, is not permanent at all. It's just in a moment. Whatever is there arising, experiencing an object, it's taken for life. But in truth, it's just a moment of experiencing an object and gone, never arise again. Right understanding can comfort from very serious, unpleasant feeling. To understand that it's so common, it's so natural, it's no one from birth, no one at moment of death. Not anyone at all, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Is it real? Crying for what? For any moment now or what? So there can be a little more understanding of the truth of what is there, hidden from eons and eons ago. Even they're seeing right now, no condition to understand it, seeing as not I see at all. So begin to listen to the truth and understand what you take for parent or wife, a friend or anything, situation, the war or the peace and so on. They are there by conditions. And what are they? Just one moment at a time. Condition, the whole situation, the whole story, the whole tragedy and so on. Just one moment of experiencing an object continuously from moment to moment, make it up as story of people and things and the world all around. That's why learn to understand the truth because it's there around, not far away at all. No matter where, no matter when, it's there. At the back or the front, see, all are Dhammas, not just the word Dhamma, but what is there is so real, but it's different by conditions. Condition the idea by shape and form, make it known of something and cling to that as something permanent. Is it true? So now begin to understand what is meant by the word we use for the truth of reality as Dhamma. Whatever is real, it's real. In Pali term, it's Dhamma because the Pali does have the word like English or Thai or Japanese, Chinese at all. It's just the reality, which no matter what word we use, just to understand the nature, the truth of it. For example, seeing in English, it's Jakkuvinyana in Pali, and it's Hen in Thai and the other language. See, just about that, the truth of that which sees, that's all, no matter what word. So the word just represents the truth of reality to be studied, to understand the nature of the reality in any language. But the understanding of the truth cannot be changed at all, no matter in what language. Seeing is seeing anytime, years ago, yesterday, today, tomorrow. Seeing is real. Can anyone change seeing to be not seeing, to be different reality, to be hearing and thinking? We use different words to represent the reality which is different. But we can change the word into other language. It doesn't matter what word is used, but the truth is that it's a reality. Now it says, so what says the reality which arises by conditions, by the eye base, and that which impinge on the eye base. conditioned seeing to arise to see and then gone. Momentarily death, never to arise again. It's not just for your father, it's for you too. One day, death is there, unknown. It can be this moment. And who cries for it? And what is crying? It's conditioned too. Whatever arises is conditioned. Learn to understand what is taken for something permanent is wrong. It's not the way, it's not as it is. Because before seeing, there's no seeing. And then there's seeing, and then there's no seeing. So where's the I who sees, or anyone who sees? No one at all. And seeing arises and falls away, not just today. How long ago? Each moment of seeing is conditioned to arise and gone. Momentary death, never to arise again. Who cries for seeing when it's gone? Is it true? What about your own death?
Vâng. Con có suy nghĩ thế nào con cứ nói.
Dạ, con con không biết nữa. Nhưng mà con rất muốn hỏi là cái định nghĩa về sự thật nó là gì, và mục đích khi mà mình tìm kiếm cái sự thật, mình biết được cái sự thật đấy là để làm gì, và khi mà mình biết được cái sự thật đấy rồi á thì nó sẽ làm gì cho cuộc sống của mình. Cái mấu chốt cuối cùng của việc tìm được sự thật chỉ là để có phải là để an yên cho bản thân hay không, hay là để có một cái mục đích gì đấy nó cao cả hơn ạ? Dạ con muốn hỏi.
I think she doesn't know how to answer Achan's question, but she would like to know what is the truth and what is the purpose of learning about the truth, and what is the benefits of it, and when one understand the truth, is it useful for it brings peace to oneself, or apart from that there is any other higher purposes?
Is there seeing now? Is there hearing now? Is there thinking now? Is there attachment now? Are they real? They begin to be true to the truth from the very beginning. It's not just asking someone to give the truth to you, but is it true? What is the truth that is seeing right now? Is it true that there is seeing? In life, without seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, experience that which is seen, heard, and on, each moment, each day. What else in a day? And seeing is seeing. It cannot be hearing. It cannot be anyone at all. Is it true? Because it's gone, never to arise again. Just learn to understand the truth of what is there, of birth and death, and what is there from birth on to death right now. It's so true. After death, where are you? Before birth, were you? But when they're seeing, how come to be you? Before that, where were you?
Câu hỏi đó con có biết trả lời sao không?
Dạ, con không.
She
Can
says, please
go
go.
on? Okay.
She doesn't know how to answer.
Can I just suggest make one or two comments about her question, which I understand to be, what is the purpose or benefit of understanding the truth about reality, about life? And I would say there are short-term benefits and long-term benefits. I'll mention the long-term benefits first of all. The long-term benefit is no more association with the disliked and no more separation from the light. Because the long-term benefit of developing understanding is that no more life as we know it comes to an end. And so no more of the unsatisfactoriness that we've been talking about. All the things that we presently don't like or find difficult about this life will be gone forever when existence in this life comes to an end. So this is not the death we usually talk about. This is an end of the being born again and born again, dying and being reborn, dying and being reborn. So that is the long-term benefit. The short-term benefit is more understanding, obviously. What is the benefit of more understanding? Well, it won't stop the separation from the light. It won't stop losing loved ones, and it won't stop having to associate with the dislike. But having more understanding makes one more accepting of the kinds of unsatisfactoriness we've been talking about. Because these things are inevitable. They are part and parcel of life as we know it. There cannot be life after life after life without a lot of the unsatisfactoriness we've been talking about. There may be short periods of life where everything goes fine and we are very happy to be alive and we would like to have more and more of that. But that very craving for the pleasant things of life is just going to be a condition for more and more of the unsatisfactoriness in the future. So when understanding is developed, it helps us to appreciate that what we presently find enjoyable in life is only in the longer term a cause for disappointment. And that helps for there to be less of more acceptance of the unsatisfactoriness that may occur from time to time. Right, I'll finish there. And if you have any comments or questions, if it's not clear, please say so, and I'll try and explain further, or someone else will explain further.
I think we can also say the truth of life is that we cannot control life. We cannot control what the thinking will think about whether there's happiness or sadness now, whether seeing or hearing arises, what will be seen, what will be heard. But we go through life thinking, I can control, I can focus on an object, I can bring calm, I can arrange my life so that everything works out easily and smoothly. But we learn from the Buddha, there is no I to control anything. What arises, arises by conditions and can't be any other way. If there are conditions to feel sad now, it has to be that way. If there are conditions to feel happy, it has to be that way for a moment. So we begin to learn that there's no I to do anything, no I to control anything. And this is a cause for joy, actually, because it's a big burden to think there is an I that can and should control life, that shouldn't cry and weep, that should be able to manage, that should cope well. But there's no I to control anything. So life goes on, but there can slowly be a little more understanding of the realities that we've all been talking about. So the purpose is to gradually let go of the idea of I that can control, I that is seeing, I that is hearing. And when there's the letting go of the idea of I, gradually there's the letting go of the other who behaves this way, the other that disappears, the other that is in the room next to us. A little more understanding about the truth that there are just these different realities that Ajahn was mentioning, like seeing and hearing and thinking, arising and falling away. And does it bring peace? Yes, understanding is the only way that leads to peace. But it's so slowly and gradually. When one's trying to have peace, no peace. But gradually, when there's a little more understanding of the truth, it works its way. At moments of understanding, there's no sadness at all, no crying, no unpleasantness at all, because there's no clinging, no aversion, no ignorance at those moments. So the question is, would one like to just continue through life in ignorance, clinging, unhappiness, not understanding anything? Or does one appreciate the benefit of beginning to understand a little more about what life really is now? So that no matter what happens in life, there can be joy at letting go of the strong idea of I that can control, that can make things happen as we would like. And as Ajahn said, the right understanding can bring comfort even when one is experiencing a lot of unpleasant feeling, a little less unpleasant feeling, a little less disturbance because of the understanding. So you have very good Dhamma friends who can help and support you a lot at this time. But it depends if there is enough interest and courage to really consider what is the truth at this moment, to really begin to appreciate the purpose and the benefit of understanding, letting go of the idea of I that can make life the way I would like. Do you have any comments, Nok? Miss Nok?
Dạ không ạ. Cảm ơn cô.
She said, I have no comments for now. Thank you.
Plenty to consider and reflect on and to discuss with your friends anytime. Anyway, we're very glad to welcome you here and appreciate that there is the patience to listen and consider.
Is there any point in living this life? Is there any point of living this life? Or none at all? Just live? Or what? No point, no listen to Dhamma, no listen to the truth, no understanding of what life is at all, what's birth and death and so on. No point at all. Or there can be the understanding of what life is from birth to death. And it's the way to let go all kinds of trouble. So it depends on everyone's accumulation. To see or to understand the benefit of understanding the truth. Because what is there now is so true, so real. But what is it? The truth can be known little by little. Because it's so true anytime when it's there. It cannot be changed at all. So now it seems that we are all here. But what is seeing? Shouldn't it be known? The reality of it? Otherwise, why we use the word Dhamma?
I think maybe I can pass your question to chị Đoan. Is a newcomer and dạ vâng, cái câu hỏi của Achan bây giờ xin mời chị Đoan. I'd like to introduce all of you to chị Đoan, who is a newcomer, but she has great faith in the teaching, and she is donating for the publishing of some books from Achan. So Anumodana to your good deeds. Dạ, em vừa giới thiệu chị là người cũng đã có cái niềm tin ở nơi giáo pháp và đã phát tâm cúng dường ấn tống một số những cuốn sách của các vị thầy. Và bây giờ thì cái câu hỏi mà Achan đã đặt ra thì xin chị có thể trả lời để có thể có cơ hội tiếp tục trò chuyện với Achan ạ.
So what is faith? We learn to understand the truth of life, of each moment. So what is faith? To understand the truth of faith.
thử hiểu, chị thử giải thích xem cái mà mình gọi là tín tâm thì là gì, theo cái hiểu của chị.
The word of truth is the word of the enlightenment, the Buddha. So what do you think about faith and what is the reality of faith? What is faith?
Dạ, thưa Achan, theo con được hiểu là cái sự có niềm tin vững chắc với giáo pháp mà của Đức Thế Tôn để lại.
According to my understanding, confidence is the confidence in the teaching, the Buddha's teaching that the Tathagata has left to us.
What did Buddha teach about? The teachings, what is it about? So what is the faith in the teachings of the Buddha? See, what did he say to condition such reality?
Tại vì vừa nãy chị còn nói là tín á, là niềm tin vào lời dạy của Đức Phật mà Đức Thế Tôn đã để lại. Thế thì bây giờ lời dạy đó là gì? Theo chị hiểu là lời dạy của Đức Phật là gì? Chị cứ nói theo cái suy nghĩ của chị thôi chứ.
Is faith confidence? Or what is it?
Dạ, theo cái hiểu con hiện tại là tin vào lời dạy của Đức Phật, là tin với có một con người hiện tại đang ở đây là tin vào nghiệp và quả của nghiệp, tin vào cái hành vi mình sống hàng ngày để cho mình một cái tương lai tốt đẹp hơn hoặc là xấu hơn, là lệ thuộc vào cái cách mình sống hàng ngày.
First of all, is it the confidence in the law of karma and vipaka, and our behavior will affect our future?
So what is karma and what is vipaka?
Dạ. Nghiệp là mình đã có mặt ở đây rồi, là có thể là từ quá khứ mình mới có nghiệp, mình mới có hôm nay, và quả của nghiệp là cũng là từ quá khứ mình đã làm một cái gì đó nên mình mới có hiện tại bây giờ, mình mới thọ lãnh cái quả của ngày hiện tại.
Nghe hơi giống nhau nhỉ?
Dạ.
Tức là nghiệp là cái nghiệp đã tạo trong quá khứ, còn
Dạ.
quả là sinh ra ở đây. Ý của
Dạ.
chị là như vậy đấy ạ.
Dạ. Dạ.
So according to her understanding, karma is the deeds committed in the past, and vipaka is this present, like now living here in this life. That is vipaka.
Is karma you? Is karma anyone? What is karma?
Dạ, con chưa hiểu, nhờ A Chan giảng giùm cho con.
I am still not clear about this topic, so could you please?
You just talk about karma and vipaka. So what is karma and what is vipaka? Faith is the confidence, see? Without understanding,
Dạ.
can there be any confidence of the truth that Buddha had realized and taught. Not just having faith in the Buddha or in the Dhamma, but what is the truth that he taught. To be confident in the truth and know who's the enlightened one from the word of truth, that no one can understand that without enlightened to the truth. See, just one word at a time should be studied carefully to understand how deep and how subtle reality is, even right now. What is the teaching of the Buddha, not just the word, but the truth of what is there right now, that no one knows at all without hearing and considering so very carefully to begin to understand little by little until it develops further and further, deeper and deeper, to get to the truth so close right now. Is the truth far away from now? It's now. But without carefully considering, how can it be known that it's so true? And what is Dhamma is not just the word.
In other words, it's just the same point that we were discussing before with Miss Rock about what is life now, what is the truth now. We think there are people, we think there are situations, we think that you're all sitting around a table at Dharma home, but we learn that in truth there are just different dhammas, different realities, those that experience an object like seeing and hearing, and those that don't experience anything like the sound that is heard or the visible object that is seen. So when thinking about tham or hai on the screen, it's just thinking about an idea, but what is seen is just the color, just the visible object. So without beginning to listen, consider, and reflect about what the realities are that make up life now, as the Buddha taught us, there cannot be the letting go of the wrong ideas that there are people that exist and people that see and hear, and I have faith, and so on. Actually, the confidence develops with the right understanding about the truth, quite different from the faith when we just go to the pagoda and pay our respects to the Buddha, but without any understanding at all about what life is, different realities that are anatta. No one is seeing, no one hearing, no phone that one is holding, no book that one is writing notes in, just different realities, some arising and experiencing an object, and some that are experienced. So, as you said, we learn about karma and we think we understand doing good deeds, making a big offering, and so on is good karma. And the results when we eat delicious food or everything is very comfortable is the vipaka. But we have to be much more precise. In truth, the karma is a mental factor of intention, cetana, that arises at moments of wholesomeness in life. And when it's strong enough to condition good deeds, it can bring a result later. So when making a big offering, as you have to publish the books, actually we're talking about a situation, so many different moments. So moments of generosity, of kindness, these are kusala moments. And the cetana is the karma that may bring results later. But what about when there is enjoyment in our good deed, or clinging to it, or wondering what the effect will be? Different moments. So the karma is just for a moment. And the result is just for a moment too. The seeing now is the vipaka, the result of past karma. The hearing now is vipaka, the result of past karma. Hearing pleasant or unpleasant sound, we don't even know. The first moment of this life, the birth, is a vipaka, chitta. Chitta means consciousness. So it's just for a moment, the result of past good karma when it is birth in this life. So this is not to confuse you, but just to indicate we have to be more and more precise to learn about different realities, to let go of the idea of I and my good deeds and my results, people, places, situations, and begin to learn there are just these different realities, those experiencing an object and those that are experienced, each one for a moment only and gone. That's it. So life just exists in a moment. No one here, no one seeing, no one thinking, no one doing good deeds. Just different moments of result, like seeing and hearing, moments of wholesomeness, like kindness, understanding, and generosity. And when it's strong enough, conditioning, good speech and deeds for a moment. Whatever we talk about is for a moment and then gone. And for Miss Ngok's benefit, at moments of all these kinds of goodness, kindness, generosity, understanding, no sadness at all at these moments. So understanding what is useful in life, what is good to be developed, and the understanding itself conditions more joy, more peace in life, less thinking about oneself, crying for one's own loss of pleasant feeling, little by little. Do you have any comments, Duan, if I've pronounced your name correctly?
Or questions, if you have any question you'd like to ask Miss Tidwan, that anything you would like to hear about, please do so.
Dạ thưa, con khi mà con nghe cô Hòa nói rằng là đang thiếu cái quyển sách này, thì cái lòng tin của con lúc đó nó khởi lên một cái tâm là con thấy quyển sách này con cũng chưa tìm hiểu, và con nghe qua lời giới thiệu của cô Hòa và cái sự hiểu biết của con còn hạn hẹp, thì khi con nghe là có cái quyển sách mà nó cần cho người đọc như vậy, thì con khởi lên một cái tâm rất là hoan hỷ, và con nói cái này con cần phải làm. Thì con chỉ cái lúc khoảnh khắc đó là con cứ nghĩ là con cần phải làm cái điều tốt này, và con cho nó là điều tốt thì con làm vậy thôi, với một cái tâm rất là vui mừng để mà thực hiện cái việc đó. Vậy thôi, chứ con lại không có cái suy nghĩ sâu xa về ngôn từ của Pháp. Con rất là hạn chế, xin các ngài giải thích rõ hơn cho con biết. Dạ. Nói về cái lợi ích khi mà mình khởi lên một cái tâm như vậy, thì để mà đúng Pháp thì nó như thế nào ạ? là khi em khởi lên một cái tâm thiện như vậy, em khởi lên một cái tâm em ấn tống như vậy, để mà nói lên một cái ngôn từ đúng pháp thì em cần phải nói lên một cái từ gì, chứ còn không là em cứ sống theo cái thói quen của mình làm theo thói quen của mình thôi. Khoảnh khắc của tâm thiện thôi. Dạ.
We're not hearing the translation yet.
Tức là câu hỏi của chị là không biết phải nói như thế nào cho nó đúng ấy ạ. She said that because she has been a Buddhist follower for some time, in addition to many teachers, and recently when she met with Sister Hua, who said to her that we run out of some books, and then she just has the intention to donate those books. So she did it out of joy and confidence or faith in the Dhamma, but she doesn't know what words to use when doing such good deeds. What are the proper words to say?
What is important is the good intentions rather than thinking of the proper words. So when she's happy to help out because there are no books and would like others to benefit from the printing of these books, and the intentions are good, this is the important point. One can say the right words without much good intention or joy, or one can have good intention and joy and make the offering no matter what words are said. So appreciate her good thoughts and good deeds.
And would you like to share with us some of the things you've learned about the Dhamma from your studying with other teachers over a long period of time? What aspects of the Buddha's teaching appeal to you? What have you learned?
Dạ, trước đây con có học là à, dạ. Thì trong cuộc sống này thường là mình là một con người, thì chắc chắn xung quanh trong cuộc sống mình, sáng mình ngủ dậy, mình mở mắt ra thì mình cũng sẽ thấy những cái cảnh và mình tiếp xúc với mọi con người xung quanh. Thì trước khi mà chưa học Pháp thì con sẽ nhìn thấy rằng là có con và có mọi người, và có đúng và có sai. Và mình thường là xử lý những cái tình huống mà xung quanh mình, khi mà những cái cảnh nó đưa đến thì mình sẽ có sự phán xét, tư duy đúng và sai trong cái cuộc sống đời thường, để mà mình đi theo cái suy nghĩ của mình để mà mình xử lý những cái tình huống đó. Nhưng từ khi con học Pháp thì con cũng có một vị sư phụ dạy con là à, mắt mình tiếp xúc với các cảnh, nó gọi là trần sáu căn. Khi tiếp xúc với sáu trần thì mình sẽ xem cái tâm gì sanh khởi.
Dạ, và khi mình xem thử là cái tâm này là nếu mà mình không có học cái cách như lý tác ý, hoặc là những cái cách mà mình chấp nhận tất cả mọi thứ đều do duyên mà có, không phải là tự nhiên cái cảnh này nó đến với mình, thì mình sẽ dùng pháp để mình như lý tác ý, giống như là mình phải có một cái tư duy tích cực hơn. Khi mình chấp nhận cái nghiệp này là của mình thì mình phải như thế nào để mà mình không có gây oan trái với người đó. Tạm gọi lúc ban đầu nó là như vậy.
She gives an example of what she has learned with some teachers, like when there are the objects appearing through the five sense doors, needs to check the mind, what kind of chitta arises. And she also has learned that anything happens because of conditions. So if one have the yoniso manasikara, one doesn't cause any further problems with the person one meets. So she learns about observing the mind, the chitta, and right intention, or right manasikara. Yeah, right attention.
Right. Thanks for sharing that. And I can see you're familiar with many aspects of the things we discuss here. When is there yoniso manasikara? Is there yoniso manasikara all the time? No. So when is there yoniso manasikara? When does that arise?
Dạ, lúc nào như lời con thực hành thì lúc nào cũng có. Khi mà mình nhìn thấy những cái cảnh, thường là những cái cảnh bất thiện hoặc là cái cảnh vui thích, thì khi mà mình như là cái cảnh bất thiện, ví dụ như ai đó đã làm tổn thương mình, nói những cái lời khó nghe, thì khi mà mình có như lý tác ý thì mình sẽ không oán trách người đó. Mình sẽ nói đây là một cái cảnh bất thiện, nó là quả của quá khứ nó đã đến. Có thể một lúc nào đó mình cũng đã từng làm đau khổ một người nào đó, nên hôm nay cái cảnh này nó đến để cho mình hiểu nó và mình hóa giải, chứ không phải là để cho mình phải mà gây oán thù thêm, là để trách ngược lại người ta. Đó là một cái cảnh bất như ý. Và còn khi mà mình tham thích trong một cái món ăn ngon, hoặc là mình một cái cảnh gì đó tươi đẹp mà mình chìm đắm vào cái tham ở trong đó, và mình không có biết rằng là cái cảnh này là nó làm cho mình sẽ làm cho con người mình nó sẽ tham đắm nhiều hơn, thì mình cũng có những cái như lý tác ý là mình cũng phải nhìn nó và ghi nhận. Rồi thường là ghi nhận xong rồi là con sẽ buông, chứ con không có để cái cảnh nó lại trong tâm nữa.
I am taught that when meeting with someone who says unpleasant words to me, I need to yoniso manasikara, that it happens because of karma in the past that caused me to hear those unpleasant sounds. So in that way, I don't have more aversion towards the person. Or on the other hand, when I am in a very good or pleasant environment or object, then I also need to yoniso manasikara, so that I don't get infatuated in that pleasant object. And also after that, I need to let go of everything.
Okay, thanks for explaining those situations. But by talking about situations, I think we cannot really understand about different mental states. Yonaso manasikara is a mental factor. And would you agree that, and I think you are familiar with the terms kusala and akusala. right? Kusala citta and akusala citta. Would you agree that if there is akusala citta, there is no yoniso manasikara at those moments? On the other hand, when there is kusala citta, there will be yoniso manasikara arising together with the kusala citta. Is that okay so far?
Dạ đúng rồi.
Yes.
Yes. If that's the case, then the question is, how can we make yoniso manasikara happen just because it's a situation where we think there isn't any yoniso manasikara? Because kusala citta, as I think you will have learnt in the course of your studies, is a conditioned reality. It's a conditioned Dhamma. All cittas, in fact, are conditioned. They arise by conditions, not because we would like to have this particular mental state or such and such. For example, at the moment there is seeing and hearing. These cittas, moments of consciousness, arise by conditions, not because we make them happen. They happen by conditions. And it's the same with moments of kusala. They happen by conditions, they cannot be made to happen by virtue of our wishing to have a kusala mind state. So yoniso manasikara arises when the citta is kusala and cannot arise otherwise. So it too arises by conditions.
And I'd like to ask a question. Is there yoniso manasikara now?
Dạ như bây giờ thì không ạ.
No, not now.
Because what is now? What arises now?
Bây giờ có tâm nào sinh khởi?
Dạ. Con nghĩ là cái tâm thiện.
I think kusala citta.
And at moments of kusala
Con đó
citta,
rất là vui khi con được nghe những cái lời mà đi sâu vào giáo pháp mà con đang cần tìm. Vì ngôn từ của con cảm nhận là nó cũng còn hạn chế. Dạ.
Because I'm very glad when I can hear detailed explanations about the Dhamma that I would like to understand more, but I don't have adequate words or appropriate words to express.
Is the manasikara now?
Có tác ý không? Bây giờ có tác ý không?
Dạ có.
Yes.
Because manasikara is a cetasika that arises of every citta. So now, at a moment of seeing, manasikara is there, attending to the object, also vipaka. At a moment of hearing, manasikara is there, attending to the sound that is heard, vipaka moment. At a moment of clinging to what is seen, clinging to what is heard now, manasikara is there, but it's not yoniso, it's ayoniso manasikara at the moment of clinging now. So common, like you said, whatever arises is by conditions. At a moment of considering or understanding, Manasikara is there, attending to the object that's being considered at those moments of wise considering. It is Yoniso Manasikara. So each Manasikara, whether it's Vipaka Manasikara or Kiriya Manasikara or Kusala or Akusala Manasikara, each one arises by conditions. It's not, I need to Yoniso Manasikara or I can make Yoniso Manasikara arise, because no one here, no I at all. There are just different citas, cetasikas, and rupas arising and falling away. So Manasikara arises with every citta during life. No one can make it yoniso. No one can stop ayoniso Manasikara arising. If one thinks that, for example, when hearing harsh words, actually it's just sound that is heard. If one thinks, I need to yoniso Manasikara, instead of it being yoniso, it's ayoniso, because it's with the wrong idea of I that can do something, I that can control. So we learn a little more about different dhammas to understand. As you said, each one is conditioned. No I that can do anything, no I that can control, no I that can make understanding or yoniso Manasikara arise. And each one falls away instantly. At a moment of wise considering, Yoniso Manasikara is there at that moment, but it's just for a moment and then gone. Next moment, clinging, ayoniso Manasikara, or hearing, neither yoniso or ayoniso, but Manasikara is there. So we learn about different dhammas to let go of the idea of I can make it arise. I can stop akusala from arising. Let's see if Ajahn would like to add more as we're beginning to run out of time. Ajahn?
Yes, is Manasikara intention? Study Dhamma, not the word Dhamma, but the reality. Each one which is real is a Dhamma. So we're talking about different kinds of Dhamma, and Manasikara is a kind of the reality, a Dhamma. Can it intend to do anything? Study
Tức là
Dhamma.
cái từ Manasikara trong tiếng Pali á, thì tiếng Việt mình nó hơi bị lẫn lộn một chút. Từ ngày xưa các vị dịch là tác ý, cho nên là như lý tác ý. Nhưng mà thực ra từ tác ý nó lại là thể hiện đến tâm sở Chetana, là tâm sở tư, là có ý định một cái gì đó. Thì bây giờ Achan hỏi là khi mà nói đến cái Manasikara là nói đến ý định hay là nói đến sự hướng tâm, theo cái hiểu của chị?
Theo cái hiểu của em đó là cái sự hướng tâm thì đúng hơn.
Is the attention, Achan. Not intention, but attention, according to her understanding. Và vừa nãy Achan có hỏi như vậy thì nó có thể có tác ý nào không? Như vậy thì cái hướng tâm thì nó có thể tác ý không ạ?
Dạ cũng có. Theo em nghĩ là có.
Hướng tâm lại có thể tác ý à? I think that she is not clear about the distinction between attention and intention. She thinks that Manasikara can also intend.
So as you said, Manasikara is attention. At each moment in life, it attends to the object, but it doesn't intend anything. That is the function of Chetana, Cetasika. I mentioned that Kama is actually Chaitana, Chaitasika. At each moment in life, Chaitana arises and it coordinates the other Chaitasikas and Chitas. And at moments of Kusala and Akusala, it intends the Kusala or intends the Akusala, different from Manasikara, which attends to the object.
Như vậy là mình hướng tâm làm một cái điều gì đó thiện đi. Ví dụ thì cái hướng tâm khác, còn cái tác ý là mình mong muốn làm điều đó. Là cái tác ý nó có phải là cái sự mong muốn không?
She asked whether intent or intending means wishing for something.
Like when planning to do something, there is the intention for kindness, intention for generosity, intention for speaking harshly. So there is intention at those moments of kusala and akusala, willing the wholesome or the unwholesome dhammas to arise. Like when making a generous offering, there has to be the intention, the willing in a wholesome way to perform the generosity. And when speaking harshly, there has to be willing in an unwholesome way to say the harsh words at those moments. And it is that willing, that chaitana, that can bring results later when the deed has been performed. Different from attention. Attention now, attending to what is seen, to what is heard, to what is thought about. Attending to whatever object the citta experiences. Did you wish to continue, Ajahn? We seem to lose you.
Okay. Can there be intention without attention? Or can there be attention without intention? Dhamma is now but so deep, so subtle. But learn to understand the subtlety of Dhamma in order not just to be underestimate how deep it is. We are talking about Dhamma, while Dhamma arises by conditions arising and falling away, unknown, until it's known gradually, little by little. So now we learn to understand the reality which intend to do, or that which attend to the object which is free, which appearing. That's right. Learn just one reality at a time is the best thing. Otherwise, when they all mix, there cannot be the clear understanding of reality as it is, which is so very subtle. Beyond imagination, beyond expectation, it's there by conditions only. What are there in a moment? See, just a moment. But there are so many, many moments in life. Even now, so many moments. But we learn to understand, to have clear understanding of Dhamma as not anyone at all. Each one is different. It's there by conditions, just arise and falls away instantly, never to arise again. To have less clinging to that which seems permanent right now, nothing falls away, nothing arises at all. But in truth, the truth is not like that at all. So we live in the world of ignorance, in darkness, of things around, people around, but in truth, in darkness, what is conditioned to arise and fall away, even right understanding, is not in light at all. Because now there's light, no understanding of the truth of anything at all. Just learn to understand the very subtle reality. And the moment of understanding the truth, it is the only moment of letting go, attachment and ignorance, and other kinds of akusala, conditioned by ignorance and attachment, all day, every day in life. That's why shall we study just one word at a time to have clear understanding, to be reminded until it's there by conditions, any moment, unexpected moment, understanding what is there instantly. Just like ignorance now, instantly. But when time comes, understanding is there instantly, unknowingly, before that it would be there, unexpectedly, by conditions like now. So understanding Dhamma is understanding the unexpected moment of what is there. Does anyone expect to see or to have seeing arise? It's there already by conditions. And this is the only way to really understand the truth of no one at all. Anatta, not atta. What are there in front, all around, are dhammas. All around dhammas, not known that it's Dhamma. That's why ignorance cannot understand the truth. And right understanding is moment of understanding. Even now, no understanding of the truth of seeing. That moment is right understanding. To be true to the truth, not yet realizing the nature of seeing, but we talk about it to not forget it, that it's there by conditions. No matter what, it's there by conditions and falls away instantly. Why do we talk about it again and again? For wise considering yoniso manasikara, not anyone. So yoniso is there depending on whether it is yoniso, unwise, or yoniso, wise considering. By conditions, all by conditions. So now it's time to say สวัสดีค่ะ